show you off in Lambos out on Collins. I be
Hello, FPSRatchet here. Today we're going to start a new series in Hearts of Iron 4. I'm going to be playing as Germany in 1936. So right now I just have it set up to a basic game on the 1st of January 1936. I've done nothing so far, and I'm just going to do a couple of quick things with the research and production before I start the game itself. So first of all, I'm going to pick a national focus, which I'm going to do the 4-year plan. I'm trying to get it over into this area right here for the extra research slot and the coal liquidization. Then after that I'll probably move on to the more political tree with the occupying the Rhineland, and then eventually World War II down here. So I'm just going to quickly select the 4-year plan. Now time for a research. The first thing I'm going to research is going to be the electromechanical engineering, which is just going to speed up our research time and make it easier for us to research other things. And I'm also going to get construction 1, which is going to help us speed up our construction times. Then for the third one, I'm going to get basic machine tools. Now for the last one, I don't know exactly what I want to spend this on, but I'm thinking either the start of the support weapons or something over on one of these, or one of the artilleries. But for now I think I'll start off with just the support weapon. Okay, now that I'm done with that, I can open up the civilian factories. As you can see from here, we're fairly built up in terms of infrastructure. We could use a little bit more, but that will happen later. I'm going to build a lot of civilian factories at the moment, especially over here and in the Rhineland. So I've got 4 queued at the moment. Those should take a bit to build, but after that I can make some more military factories. Now I've got 8 military factories open, so I'm going to put 5 in the car, or 98k. And then for the other ones, I'm planning on I'll put 2 on the artillery and then 1 on the support equipment. And then I have 1 more naval dockyard, at which these are just the basic ones that's already loaded in. And so I'm just going to put this one on the Scharnhorst class battleship. That way it doesn't take 11 years to build. Okay, now that I've finished that, it looks like we've got insufficient resources with some rubber. I'm going to see if any of these I can trade via land. That way I don't have to, once I actually do World War II, I won't have to worry about the convoys as much, but it doesn't really look like there are. So I know that Brazil's going to be happy to trade with me, but for now I'll just work on the West Indies, and I'll try to get it a little bit higher than I would normally, just so I can stockpile a bit for when they refuse to trade with me during the war. Okay, there we go. It looks like we have more our oil and tungsten is okay, but I think we should pick up the tungsten production later, so we don't have to worry about that. Now I'm just going to go a little bit further and try to build up some political experience, and then I'll come back to you then. And then after that we will, should be about 70 days when I finish the first national focus. Then after that I'll come back and we will go from there and work on creating our divisions, because I'm aiming for about, it's a lot, but I'm aiming for as many as I can, but closer to about 100 divisions that are ready for World War II. So I'll see you then. Okay, we're back. It is currently March 12th, 1936, so we went about 3 months in time just to finish up the research and the national focus. So our national focus just finished the 4-year plan, as you can see. So now I'm going to go for the autarky. That's essentially it for now, but I'm going to get our divisions ready for a little bit of training. That way I can earn some army experience. And in this section I can edit the infantry division and add some increased combat width to 20. So I'm just going to go around and figure out which guys need training. Okay, looking for guys who are level 2. Wow, there's surprising lack. Okay, so it doesn't look like there's anybody that's level 2. But I'm still going to exercise some of them. Specifically, I'll do the western or eastern front. I'll put them all under one command of an army because it's not going to be a real army. Then there was one of these guys that was good for training. I forgot exactly which one. I don't think it's Erwin Rommel. But one of them was... Okay, it's this guy right here, as you can see. Took me a bit to find. So now that I think about it, I'm just going to put the rest of Germany under his command as well. Doesn't really like it. Well, I can see if there are a couple divisions that I can remove. Just those guys. I guess they don't want... Oh yeah. My bad. Okay. Now I'm going to select the units over here and I can make another training group. I'm not going to put a guy in there. I'm just going to make everybody exercise. This way I can earn some army experience and also begin to level them up. So... looks like they're not fans of the exercise, so I'll just keep it for a little bit until my political power reaches 150. Then I can go ahead and hire a theorist. Okay, it looks like it's draining my fuel fairly. Oh, there's electronic mechanical engineering, so I'm going to pause the game, go check. I can either go and head towards radio or mechanical computing, or I can go for something completely different, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start research on interwar artillery, and then it looks like one of the U-boats finished construction, so I'll make a new one. And I'll go ahead and put it there and sort it out correctly. Let's see how our civilian factories are doing. It's looked like they've built one of them. So let me just see if they're okay. It doesn't look like they really like it. So let me stop them both from exercising because it didn't really give me a whole lot, and they don't really need it. Okay, now I'm just speeding up time a little bit until I get to 150 political power, or until research or something like that finishes. So for now I'll just disband these. Okay, now that I've disbanded them, I guess we just wait. In case you want to see the map of Europe, here it is. It's fairly similar to... It's pretty much the start of World War II, except we don't have command of Austria-Hungary or Czechoslovakia. Okay, it looks like Italy has annexed Ethiopia. As you can see, Ethiopia has catapulted the Ethiopian government and has gone into exile, and their main forces have capitulated to Italy, who is now in control of their home area. Although the struggles between Italy and Ethiopia are over, Italy is still at all-out war, and the fighting continues elsewhere. So, I guess you can see that. And I've also reached 150 political power, so that means I'm going to hire a theorist. So I'm going to do Heinz Guderian, because he is a blitzkrieg theorist, which means we can move faster. Then it looks like we have got about... we're exactly halfway done with our national focus. And then let's see how we're doing with our research. We're almost done with these, so those are. In the meantime, we're going to go check it out. You can see Italy has annexed Ethiopia completely. Not a whole lot of... that means that, from what I can see, there's pretty much no African countries left that are independent besides Liberia and South Africa. I could definitely be wrong, but those are all the only ones I see at the moment. So they should be done soon. As you can see, we're generating our army experience. Yep. So it finished both of them, as you can see right there. Let's check out our engineering tab. I'm tempted by the radio, but I don't think we really need it at the moment, so I'll put that off for later. In the meantime, we can go for concentrated industry, which will turn up our factory output. And for this other one, we can go for, since I'm not going to go ahead in time quite yet, I might do that a little bit later, but of course not by a lot. So I'm just gonna, as you can see, we have to, once we reach 1939, we're gonna get the Panzer III. It's a very good tank, perfect size. So at the moment we can either go for the anti-tank or land doctrine, but that's a little bit longer, so I might wait for that. For the Navy, there are not a lot of very good naval boats. In my opinion, I don't really like the aircraft carriers. You know, some people might really like them, but they're not my favorite. So as I said, I didn't really want to do radio, so I will go for the anti-tank artillery for now. Just for when we have to go for attack place like the Soviet Union that has a lot of tanks and a lot of better tanks than we do. So I'll just keep time at all-time speed, high speed. And we want to sort of get ready for annexing Austria. Because you don't know how World War II played out, this was pretty peaceful annexation, and invading it would just increase the war score unnecessarily. So the two things so I might stage a coup and see if that helps. I'll do that right now. Try to annex Austria fairly early. I don't know what Tyrol is. So let me see if it gives me an explanation. Okay, it looks like it doesn't. So I'll just leave that for the end. Wait. Okay. And then of course we want to make them fascist so we can annex them. Okay, so we sent the coup, and then we'll see how that plays out in the coming days while we wait for the national focus. Right on time, as I was bringing it up. So now I'm planning on going for the Hermann Göring Verka, which just gives us a little bit more things a little bit more building slots that we can have. That'll definitely come in handy. And hopefully the coup goes well. That way we can annex Austria, then eventually Czechoslovakia down over here. As you can see, this itself will hold on. Okay, so this itself will give us an option. We'll see it once we're there, or I'll show you it once we're there. But it gives us an option on what we want to do in terms of annexing Czechoslovakia. But it looks like we've got some free civilian factories. So for now, I'm just going to work on building more. I want to get that number up to like 80 or so. So, okay. So I'll build 2 right there. Then we wait for that. We've got another research slot open, which means we will probably go for radio. As I said, I didn't really want to do that last time, but now looks like the best thing we can do at the moment while we wait. Now, I don't know how the coup in Austria has been doing. As you can see, they've got a majority fascist. Well, not quite a majority, it's half, but they've got about 48% not aligned, and then they've got like the one guy in the Communist and Democratic parties there. Okay, our fuel's also slowly filling, which we'll definitely need for Blitzkrieg and invading France, especially because the French submarines, if you don't invade them quickly through Belgium and then like attack them, the French submarines, they will be the end of you. They sink so many boats, and then if you don't have enough fuel, you can't really protect the if you won't have enough fuel, so you can't. Okay, you can't do the convoy escorts is what I'm saying. So looks like we finished the anti-tank artillery, so we'll just head over and see down here in the special forces menu. You definitely want paratroopers. Those will come in handy for the invasion of France, which I know I've been talking about quite a bit, but that is pretty much the most important invasion in the game. The Polish invasion is fairly easy as long as you've got a good chunk of like 3, as long as you've got 3, 1 down here, or 3 armies, that is, 1 down here, 1 up here, and 1 up here. You can easily make do with Poland. You can also, I'll probably do a panzer division up here, or with a spearhead pattern that goes through Warsaw and Krakow. So let's keep up the time. So there's our national focus and research at the same time, and a U-boat, it looks like. So now I'll go for coal liquidization. I'm just working on getting our economy and stuff built up before we go into the more wartime things and political things. So as I said, I don't really want to go in the future just yet. I want to catch up with a lot of these things, but we've done a lot of these, so I guess I'll just do excavation 1. Then, as I said, it looks like we finished a U-boat, so instead of making a new one, I'll make a destroyer, because those are pretty useful, and they take barely any time to build anyway. That takes us a little over a year, which isn't too much in the grand scheme of things, especially with the boats, some which can take like 10 years, like that aircraft carrier. Now we just wait. Don't have a whole lot more time in the episode. I'll probably bring us to about February or March of 1937. Hopefully, by which we will have built up a good chunk of our army. As you can see, the games of the 11th Olympiad. The 11th Olympic Games were recently held in Berlin, Germany, attended by athletes from 49 different nations across the world. The 1936 Summer Olympics are the first in history to have enjoyed limited live television coverage. The Games were a significant propaganda victory for the German Empire regime, which spent lavishly on the event. German athletes saw the most success, winning 33 gold medals, where the Americans came in second with 24. 4 of these were won by Jesse Owens, the single most successful athlete in the Games. A lot of people now know Jesse Owens. And it looks like we've got another naval dock here that's free. Could have sworn we just made a destroyer. Oh yeah, it was that one. So I'll make another destroyer, because you can never have too many destroyers. And I'm just going to organize it by the date they will be built. So I don't know how that one's going to be built later, considering I just started that one. Oh wait, April, August. Okay. So soon I'll start training the troops, in probably about September. I was hoping we could get enough army experience to create the oh, we've got some free civilian factories. Don't really need to pause time, because yeah, I think you guys all know what I'm going to do by now. If you guessed create more factories, you're right. Okay, that should give us a good amount of time, considering we built 3 there. So another U-boat finished. Okay, they're really cranking these out. And I'm going to move the... We've now only got 3 in production. We've got another research slot available. It's almost 1937 itself, so I'll probably just look for some support divisions that we can add on. Thinking about either maintenance company or military police. Field hospital is sort of more of a late game thing. Well, not late game, but it's more later in preparation. I will go for the maintenance company for now, just to make sure we can steamroll through a lot of these places. Okay, let me see if it's 10 or so. I'm not gonna bother. Okay, it looks like we need to add 2. Okay, it's 10, so hold on. So he's given us 0.05 daily, which if you do the math, that's 0.1 every 2 days. So every 20 days he gives us 1. So in 40 days I can edit it and make it to a combat width of 20. So I'll just wait for that for now. Then once those are done, I'll probably garrison them somewhere around here with a special army commander who can train them up to level 3. I haven't really made any preparations beyond that yet. We've made another... Did we make another U-boat? Yeah, we made another U-boat. Okay, I'll just start working on another one. But these are the Type 2s, so they're not as good as the future submarines like the Type 7 and the Type 9. They didn't really have a lot of the Type 2s. They had some, but they were not that good. Okay. So our general war plan is I want to try to annex Austria fairly. Like in the future, I want to annex Austria. Coal liquidization is done. Then we gain the Sudetenland land from another national focus. Then we get to just annex all of Czechoslovakia. Then after that we invade Poland. Then we're going around the Manual line. As you can see, there's not a whole lot of I don't even think there are any troops there that we can see. And then we'll go through Brussels and down with the Panzer Division. As I said, over here we'd also have a Panzer Division. That's because that they are very fast and can move through these countries very quickly, and that's what we want when we're going around them. So I'm looking. Do we want? So I'm gonna go for this just because these synthetic refineries are going to be a lot of your industry once you end up going into war, and not a lot of people can really help you in terms of trade. Because a lot of the countries that are actually going to still like you are going to be in the middle of nowhere, like South America, based on where we are. So I'm just going to quickly see which is better. Should we do 2 artillery? No, we want to place that. So that looks good for now. I'm not going to add any of these at the moment. We've got engineer and support artillery. We've got it up to combat width of 10. So now that we've got that, I'm going to go ahead and make a new lot of divisions. I'm planning on about 15. Then once they're done, I'd like them to deploy in just north of Berlin. then they can be trained up. As you can see, they've all been supplied. Oops, I'm already paused. Here's our panzer divisions with the light tanks. I don't really like the light tanks, so once the next research slot comes open, I'm going to speed up a little bit and get the medium tank and at the panzer division. Let me see how much that will cost me right now. Actually, I can't, but that will be expensive, so we'll have to wait for that one. If we can't get it by about 1937 or so, like mid-1937, so next video, I'll just end up going and getting the light tanks anyway, because light tanks are better than no tanks. Looks like we've got a couple open, so as I said, I'll make more civilian factories. Who would have guessed that? One down south. As you can see, our industry is fairly just going to places with 80 industry. Okay, I'm gonna go. We might have to end the video fairly soon. I'm gonna try to speed it up a little bit. That way, we can sort of end up with 1 year a 1 year of video for the beginning part, not for the end part. But the end parts, obviously, we're not gonna have enough. We're not gonna have enough time. Okay, look, it's the Spanish Civil War. A civil war has erupted in Spain. Several generals seeking to overthrow the current government in Madrid have issued a proclamation. I'm not even going to try with that one. And a large portion of the Spanish armed forces have answered their call to arms. This right-wing nationalist faction has occupied much of Spain, including the overseas territories. Loyalist forces and volunteers have assembled under the left-wing Republican government, determined to resist the putsch to their last breath. The battle for Spain has begun. As you can see, there is currently the Spanish Civil War. I'm going to go to the armory, and this is going to, oh wow, 580 days, so that's like a year and a half. Trying to think if I want to do it or not. How long do these? So it's going to take me a while to do it, considering it's about 2.5 years up. So I'm not going to do it at the moment. I know I said I would, but it's too far ahead even for me. So I'm probably just going to go for, not the land doctrine. Okay, looks like they don't have the Type 9. That's better than those U-boats from World War I. I'm trying to think what we can do. I'll probably just go for mechanical computing, because that again turns up our research speed. And let's continue our push into October. As I said, as we get into later series, I can't really do a year at a time, because most of the war will happen in a year. So likely this will be a sort of longer video, as I've been explaining a lot of things and stopping for these and that, and I've been explaining a lot of stuff instead of doing the skip. I know I did one skip in the beginning of the video, but in the future I will probably do more, so you don't have to sit here and listen to me talk instead of actually watching me play the game. So as I said, we finished another one of these, so I'll just go straight for radio detection. And we got some free civilian factories. I don't know how they're building so fast. So I'll just build a ton of these. So I'll build 2 there. Let me max out this one in the Rhineland. 1 there. Well, I don't really want to build in Berlin too much. I'll just build a bunch over here. Okay, that's too many, probably. But, ooh, it's telling me. I'm not a huge fan of these decisions. So, the MEFO bills will happen. I think they're probably going to stop right now. Although, as we all know from history class, and as you can see, Neville Chamberlain here did absolutely nothing. Wait, what? Okay, Neville Chamberlain isn't here yet. I'm probably gonna get hated for that in the comments, but we don't follow British politics that much. I'm gonna go for the KDF wagon. As you can see over here, the Spanish Civil War has been kicking off. You've got the Republic of Spain over here and the Nationalist Spain. It is possible for the Republic of Spain to win and suppress the Nationalist. Of course, that's not what happened in real life, but it is possible. As you can see, our fuel is almost full. And it is January 1st, which means I will end the video here. As you can see, we are currently almost done with the training, which is pretty cool. That means at this rate we can probably make quite a huge army, especially due to our high supply. As you can see from the production menu, we are currently making over 100 car 98Ks a day. After that, of course, we're going to have to move on to the MP38 in the year 1939, but that's a long ways from now. And as we wait for it to come closer, we'll just keep building our armies with what we have so far. So thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next video I make, episode 2, which should release in the next day or two. I'm hoping I can crank these out sort of the day I upload them. I'm hopefully meaning one a day, but if I end up making too many in one day, I'll probably just put them on a sort of schedule. So I know I've probably talked for too long. This video is at the point where you don't even want to watch it because it's so long, especially with some doofus like me saying the whole thing. So to recap, we didn't do a whole lot this video. I introduced you to a lot of the things, which I'm hoping you know. If not, I'll probably make a tutorial video, which I can probably, not a huge in-depth tutorial, a shorter one instead of these hour-long tutorials you find on YouTube. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back for episode 2.